So here we go, guys. We're going to start off with our big paintbrush and our fuchsia, and that is going to be the very darkest purple that you have. The other one that you are going to be referenced to is going to be a lavender, and the lavender, of course, is this one right in here. So you've got your fuchsia, your lavender, your black, white, and your pink. So when you're doing this, go ahead and grab a lot of that fuchsia on both sides of your paintbrush, just like that. And we're going to do long lines right in here. And when we're doing it, it says to go about 1/3 of the way. So I'm going to say this is 1/3 here. So let's go for it. Now, what a lot of people kind of freak out about is that we go right into our palm trees. I'm not worried about that. You can still see them there. I'm going to grab a little bit more. Okay. And again, you don't have to sit there and make it super perfect. I do want to see some of the lights and some of the darks in there. And keep grabbing a lot of that paint. Nice. And just a little bit more. So just long strokes. By the way, guys, I like to go ahead and paint my edges right in here. Again, be aware of your table. If you're a little worried about getting paint on your table, go ahead and maybe put some kind of plastic tablecloth on there, or even a placemat that you're okay with getting paint on. I'm going to do the top as well. Grab a little bit more.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, please help us and support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell.
All right. So this doesn't have to be like a perfect edge either. So we don't wash off our paintbrush. As a matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and dip our paintbrush into the lavender and streak in the color overlapping a little bit into the fuchsia. So this is my lavender. And we're just going to kind of come in here. And it's very similar to that fuchsia, but just a couple of ticks lighter. And notice that I'm kind of creeping into my previous color too. So it's not just fuchsia, lavender, and pink. It's going to kind of be interwoven. If you want to come back and grab a little bit of fuchsia and say, hey, I want to put a few little extra lines of fuchsia in my lavender, hey, that's okay. So again, just back and forth. We're not too worried about this. Just make sure to go all the way to your edges, guys. Right in here. Nice. And right over here. And then my final step is it still tells me not to wash off my paintbrush. I'm going to continue down to the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and dip my paintbrush into the pink. And you can kind of tell every once in a while some of that fuchsia pops in there. We're okay with that. And I want to go ahead and grab a little bit of that pink for my edges. Right there. Grab a little pink over here as well. And again, take your time on this. I've actually seen some people who grab a little bit of that pink and maybe just kind of pepper in a little bit here and there. Look how nice that looks. Nice. And we're going to be doing the same thing. I got a little bit of fuchsia in there. We're going to be doing the same thing with just a little bit of that white. So you can wash off your paintbrush if you would like, or you can just grab a little bit of that white and pop in a few little streaks. Now, the thing about white is if you keep brushing on that white, it's just going to melt right back into your pink or even your fuchsia. So once you put it down, kind of leave it alone. Nice and soft. And notice how I'm holding that brush. I'm doing skinny lines. I'm not sitting here doing fat lines. And we're going to wash off our paintbrush. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next step. It will tell you that you can dry your painting, but I don't want to stop my video, so I'm going to go ahead and just go on to the next step. But again, if you are at home, you can stop the video at this point, do a little blow drying with your just your regular hair dryer, or maybe just leave it. Acrylic paint dries relatively fast. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on going with my small brush. I'm grabbing some of this black. And now we're going to come in here, and it says to go ahead and start working on the tree trunks with the small brush. But I have had people tell me, hey, I'm having trouble getting my tree trunk straight. So just a little helpful hint, a little extra here. You can use your big brush, dip it in the black just like that. And I'm going to hold it straight like this. And you can actually do your tree trunks just like that. I like to kind of flare mine out a little bit down at the bottom. Again, your instructions may tell you to use the little brush, but just between you and I, hey, I like this a lot better. Nice, nice. And then we're just going to go ahead and start coming in here and filling in the trees. Now, some people will sit here and they'll agonize because they're trying to go in here and outline all of their black. And oh my gosh, that gets really tedious sometimes. I am a little bit more of a free spirit. Check out what I'm going to do. I'm using my outline just as kind of a quick guide. I'm just going to kind of grab a little bit of the black and just kind of feather it in just like that. I'm barely touching my canvas. And keep grabbing a lot of that paint. And some of the reasons why some people like to do it this way is they still want to see some of that sky in the background. And let's just keep going. Nice and light. Keep grabbing. And so you're kind of filling in the shape that you've got there, but you're not constrained to it. So you can kind of go outside of the lines. And that's what makes it feel a little bit more natural. And remember, the lighter your touch, the thinner your lines are going to be. Oh, look how pretty that's looking. And then right over here as well. So see how I'm just kind of flicking it out, just like that. Now the center can be a little bit more solid. I'm okay with that being a little bit more solid. Keep grabbing a lot of paint. That's where people go wrong, is that maybe it looks a little too transparent because they keep forgetting to come back into that paint.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, please help us and support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell.
And it's up to you. Maybe you decide to make your palm trees grow a little bit. That's okay. Now there are people who will sit here and fill in these shapes. That's fine too. Again, that's the cool thing about art. Everyone kind of approaches it their own way. This is just a quick little guideline on how you can possibly do it. And just a little bit here. Hey guys, if you've got a little bit of glitter paint, sure, you can have a little bit on here. I've even seen some people who use a marker will come back and they'll write a quote in there. That's fine too. Don't be too caught up if your palm tree's a little wonky. Remember, well, you've seen them everywhere. I've actually seen some palm trees that are over to the side. So I am going to twist that paintbrush a little bit. And we're going to do our small birds, our seagulls. Now when you're doing it, again, don't press down very hard. Just a light straight line. Dip a little bit and straight line. It is not the letter M. So again, be very careful. You don't want these to be too big. And as with anything, odd numbers are a little bit more interesting than just two, or maybe it is significant for you. Hey, it's, represents my husband and I, or me and my 4 kids. It's up to you. I even put that guy over on the side. Okay, so all you've got to do now at this point, you sign that masterpiece down at the bottom corner. Remember, you can do Sharpies on top of acrylic paint that has dried. And we are done, believe it or not. So I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the video, please help us and support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell.